Welcome back. In this session, we discuss integers having primitive roots. That is, here we characterize all integers that have primitive roots belonging to them. Also, the concept of indices. Lemma 1, that a be any odd integer, then a raised to 2 raised to n minus 2 congruent to 1 mod 2 raised to n for every n greater than or equal to 3. Proof. To prove, we use induction on n. Suppose n equal to 3. We must prove that a square congruent to 1 mod 8, equation number 1. Since a is odd, a is congruent to either 1, 3, 5 or 7 mod 8. Therefore, a square is congruent to 1 mod 8, hence 1 holds. Now, suppose that the statement holds for n equal to k greater than or equal to 3. That is, if a is any odd integer, then a raised to 2 raised to k minus 2 congruent to 1 mod 2 raised to k, equation 2. Consider a raised to 2 raised to k plus 1 minus 2 equal to a raised to 2 raised to k minus 1, which is equal to a raised to 2 raised to k minus 2 whole square. Since equation 2 holds, there is an integer lambda such that a raised to 2 raised to k minus 2 equal to 1 plus lambda into 2 raised to k. Therefore, a raised to 2 raised to k minus 2 whole square equal to 1 plus lambda into 2 raised to k whole square, which is equal to 1 plus lambda into 2 raised to k plus 1 plus lambda square into 2 raised to 2 k. Therefore, a raised to 2 raised to k minus 1 equal to 1 plus lambda into 2 raised to k plus 1 plus lambda square into 2 raised to 2 k, which is equal to 1 plus lambda into 2 raised to k plus 1 plus lambda square into 2 raised to k minus 1 into 2 raised to k plus 1. As k greater than or equal to 3 implies k greater than 2 implies k minus 1 greater than 1. Therefore, a raised to 2 raised to k minus 1 congruent to 1 mod 2 raised to k plus 1 or a raised to 2 raised to k plus 1 minus 2 congruent to 1 mod 2 raised to n. Hence, we have a raised to 2 raised to n minus 2 congruent to 1 mod 2 raised to n for every n greater than or equal to 3. Theorem 1. There are no primitive roots belonging to 2 raised to n for every n greater than or equal to 3. Lemma 2. Let m n each greater than 2 be any integers and GCD of m n equal to 1, then there exists no primitive roots mod m into n. Corollary 1. If n is an integer either of the form p raised to k into q raised to l, p, q distinct odd primes and integers k, l greater than or equal to 1 or of the form 4 into p raised to k, p a odd prime an integer k greater than or equal to 1, then there exists no primitive roots belonging to n. Proof. By lemma 2, result follows. Theorem 1, lemma 2 and corollary 1 combine to show that if an integer n has a primitive root belonging to it, then n must be of the form n is equal to 2 raised to m into p raised to k 0 less than or equal to m less than 2 and k greater than or equal to 0. That is, n is either p raised to k or 2 into p raised to k. We now prove that if n is p raised to k or 2 into p raised to k, p an odd prime, then n has a primitive root belonging to it. Theorem 2. There exist primitive roots belonging to p raised to k and 2 into p raised to k, p being an odd prime and k greater than or equal to 1. Proof. We first show that there exists a primitive root mod p raised to k, p odd prime and k greater than or equal to 1. We know that if k equal to 1, there is a primitive root mod p. Suppose k greater than 1, that a be a primitive root mod p. We shall, starting with a, construct a primitive root mod p raised to k. By definition, a has a exponent p minus 1, that is a raised to p minus 1 congruent to 1 mod p. If a raised to p minus 1 congruent to 1 mod p square, then let a raised to 1 equal to a plus p. We show that a raised to 1 is also a primitive root mod p, since a raised to 1 congruent to a mod p, a raised to 1 raised to h congruent to a raised to h mod p for each integer h. Hence, a raised to 1 raised to h congruent to 1 mod p if and only if a raised to h congruent to 1 mod p. Therefore, a raised to 1 is also a primitive root mod p. Further, a raised to p minus 1 equal to a plus p raised to p minus 1 equal to a raised to p minus 1 plus p into p minus 1 into a raised to p minus 2 plus p square into p minus 1 into p minus 2 into a raised to p minus 3 plus etc. by 2 factorial not congruent to 1 mod p square. For a raised to p minus 2 congruent to 1 mod p square and GCD of p minus 1 equal to 1, thus we take a primitive root a mod p, the one for which a raised to p minus 1 congruent to 1 mod p square. We next show that a raised to p raised to k minus 2 into p minus 1 not congruent to 1 mod p raised to k for every k greater than or equal to 2. Equation number 3. For k equal to 2, by choice of a we are done. Suppose k greater than 2, and that we have shown a raised to p raised to k minus 2 into p minus 1 not congruent to 1 mod p raised to k. Equation 4. We show a raised to p into k plus 1 minus 2 into p minus 1 not congruent to 1 mod p raised to k plus 1. Since GCD of a p equal to 1, GCD of a p raised to k minus 1 equal to 1, therefore by Euler's theorem a raised to phi of p raised to k minus 1 congruent to 1 mod p raised to k minus 1 implies a raised to p raised to k minus 1 minus p raised to k minus 2 congruent to 1 mod p raised to k minus 1. A raised to p raised to k minus 1 into p minus 1 equal to 1 plus lambda into p raised to k minus 1 for some integer lambda. Equation number 5. And by equation 4, GCD of lambda p equal to 1. Equation number 6. Now, a raised to p raised to k plus 1 minus 2 into p minus 1 equal to a raised to p raised to k minus 1 into p minus 1, which is equal to a raised to p raised to k minus 2 into p plus 1 whole raised to p, which is equal to 1 plus lambda into p raised to k minus 1 raised to p. Equation 5, which is equal to 1 plus lambda into p raised to k plus lambda square into p minus 1 by 2 into p raised to 2k minus 2 plus etc. congruent to 1 mod p raised to k plus 1 by equation number 6. Hence, a raised to p raised to k minus 2 into p minus 1 not congruent to 1 mod p raised to k for every greater than or equal to 2. So that a works as a primitive root mod p raised to k, let n be the exponent of a mod p raised to k, then a raised to n congruent to 1 mod p raised to k. Equation number 7. Also, a raised to phi of p raised to k congruent to 1 mod p raised to k, Euler's theorem. Therefore, n divides phi of p raised to k congruent to p raised to k minus 1 into p minus 1. As p raised to k divides a raised to n minus 1 by 7 implies p divides a raised to n minus 1 implies a raised to n congruent to 1 mod p. But then a has exponent phi of p congruent to p minus 1 mod p implies p minus 1 divides n. Therefore, n equal to p raised to m into p minus 1, 0 less than or equal to m less than or equal to k minus 1. If m less than k minus 1, then m less than or equal to k minus 2. But by equation 3, m greater than k minus 2, thus m equal to k minus 1 implies n equal to p raised to k minus 1 into p minus 1. Implies exponent of a is phi of p raised to k mod p raised to k, that is a is a primitive root mod p raised to k. We now show that 2 into p raised to k greater than or equal to 1 has primitive roots belonging to it. Let a be a primitive root mod p raised to k. If a is even, replace a by a raised to 1 equal to a plus p, so that we can assume that a is an odd primitive root mod p raised to k. We show a is a primitive root mod 2 into p raised to k. Suppose exponent of a mod 2 p raised to k is m, then n divides phi of 2 into p raised to k. Therefore, GCD of 2 p raised to k a equal to 1 and a raised to phi of 2 p raised to k congruent to 1 mod 2 p raised to k by Euler's theorem. Now, n divides phi of 2 into p raised to k equal to phi of p raised to k. Equation number 8. Also, a is a primitive root mod p raised to k implies phi of p raised to k is exponent of a mod p raised to k and a raised to n congruent to 1 mod 2 into p raised to k implies a raised to n congruent to 1 mod p raised to k. Therefore, phi of p raised to k divides n. Equation number 9. Equation 8 and 9 implies n is equal to phi of p raised to k equal to phi of 2 into p raised to k. Therefore, a is a primitive root mod 2 into p raised to k. Remark, by the last part of the above theorem, any odd primitive root mod p raised to k serves as a primitive root mod 2 into p raised to k. 2. The only integers that have primitive roots belonging to them are 2 for p raised to k or 2 into p raised to k, p odd prime and k greater than or equal to 1. Example 1, let p equal to 5, we shall find a primitive root mod 5 square. We know that 2 is a primitive root mod 5 since 2 congruent to 2, 2 square congruent to 4, 2 cube congruent to 3, 2 raised to 4 congruent to 1 mod 5. Again 2 raised to 4 not congruent to 1 mod 5 square and 2 square congruent to 4, 2 raised to 5 congruent to 8, 2 raised to 4 congruent to 16, 2 raised to 5 congruent to 7, 2 raised to 6 congruent to 14, 2 raised to 7 congruent to 3, 2 raised to 8 congruent to 6, 2 raised to 9 congruent to 12, 2 raised to 10 congruent to 24, 2 raised to 11 congruent to 23, 2 raised to 12 congruent to 21, 2 raised to 13 congruent to 17, 2 raised to 14 congruent to 9, 2 raised to 15 congruent to 18, 2 raised to 16 congruent to 11, 2 raised to 17 congruent to 22, 2 raised to 18 congruent to 19, 2 raised to 19 congruent to 13 and 2 raised to 20 congruent to 1 mod 5 square. 2 is a primitive root mod 5 square. It can be similarly shown that 3 is also a primitive root mod 5 square. Indices. Definition: let A be a primitive root belonging to an integer m. For any integer b coprime to m, if b congruent to a raised to k mod m, then k is called index of b modulo m relative to the primitive root a. We write symbolically as int b a equal to k if b congruent to a raised to k mod m, or simply int b equal to k whenever it is clear which primitive root is referred to. Example 2, 3 is a primitive root mod 5. We give indices of 1, 2, 3, 4 mod 5 relative to 3. Integer 1 index 4, 2 index 3, 3 index 1, 4 index 2, or 0. Observe that index of 0 is not defined. Also, the concept of index is similar to that of logarithms for real numbers. Indices even obey rules very similar to logarithms. Theorem 3, let A be a primitive root modulo m and b, c, k any integers, then the following holds. 1. b congruent to c mod m implies int b congruent to int c mod phi m. 2. int b into c congruent to int b plus int c mod phi of m. 3. int b raised to k congruent to k int b mod phi of m. 4. int of 1 congruent to 0 mod phi of m. Proof: let int b equal to r and int c equal to s. Then b congruent to a raised to r mod m and c congruent to a raised to s mod m. 1. If b congruent to c mod m, then a raised to r congruent to a raised to s mod m. Now, a raised to r congruent to a raised to s mod m implies a raised to r minus s congruent to 1 mod m, but by definition of a, phi of m divides r minus s. Consequently, r congruent to s mod phi of m. 2. b into c congruent to a raised to r into a raised to s mod m, b into c congruent to a raised to r plus s mod m, or but if t equal to int b into c, then b into c congruent to a raised to t mod m. Once again, r plus s congruent to t mod phi of m as in 1. 3. It is obvious from the result of 2, for since a is a primitive root modulo m, the theory of indices is useful only for those moduli which possess primitive roots. Moreover, the table of indices must be prepared for each modulus, which is not so with logarithms. We illustrate this by solving two types of congruences. Example 3. Solve the linear congruence 7 into x congruent to 2 mod 9. We know 2 is a primitive root modulo 9. Also, 2 raised to 1 congruent to 2, 2 square congruent to 4, 2 cube congruent to 8, 2 raised to 4 congruent to 7, 2 raised to 5 congruent to 5 and 2 raised to 6 congruent to 1 mod 9. Thus, index of 7 is 4 and 2 is 1. Now, 7x congruent to 2 mod 9 is equivalent to int 7 plus int x congruent to int 2 mod phi of 9, or 4 plus index x congruent to 1 mod 6, therefore, phi of 9 equal to 6, or int x congruent to minus 3 mod 6 congruent to 3 mod 6. Hence, x congruent to 2 cube mod 9 or x congruent to 8 mod 9. Thus, solution of 7x congruent to 2 mod 9 are of the form 9t plus 8 for t equal to 0 plus or minus 1 plus or minus 2 etc. Example 4. Solve the congruence 11x cube congruent to 2 mod 23. We know 5 is a primitive root modulo 23. Also, 5 raised to 1 congruent to 5, 5 square congruent to 2, 5 cube congruent to 10, 5 raised to 4 congruent to 4, 5 raised to 5 congruent to 20, 5 raised to 6 congruent to 8, 5 raised to 7 congruent to 17, 5 raised to 8 congruent to 16, 5 raised to 9 congruent to 11, 5 raised to 10 congruent to 9 mod 23, and 11 x cube congruent to 2 mod 23 is equivalent to int 11 plus 3 into int x congruent to int 2 mod 22, or 9 plus 3 int x congruent to 2 mod 22, or 3 int x congruent to minus 7 mod 22, 2 into int x congruent to 15 mod 22, or int x congruent to 5 mod 23. Hence, x congruent to 5 raised to 5 mod 23, or x congruent to 20 mod 23. Thus, x equal to 23 into t plus 20, t equal to 0 plus or minus 1 plus or minus 2 etc. are all solutions of the given congruence. Let us summarize this session. This session we characterized the integers that having primitive roots belonging to them through several lemmas, discussed the idea of indices, also verified that theory of indices is useful only for those moduli which possess primitive roots. Before moving to the next session, try to solve the given questions. That A be a primitive root modulo p raised to k, then A is a primitive root modulo p. Prove. Solve the following congruences: 7x congruent to 3 mod 11, 4x congruent to 19 mod 23. Question number 3, make a table of indices for the prime 17 with the primitive root 5. Thank you for watching this session. See you next time. Till then, goodbye.